Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I'm Rungren.
And we've got some stuff to talk about this week. And actually, for most of the week, didn't look we were going to have a lot of news.
Oh,
And then just bam,
That's
here's
good.
news. And I got one sent to me right as I hit go on the stream. That is just a little thing that I'll just throw in. People are a little upset about it. But yeah, news kind of snuck up on us this week. So, as we always do, though, we'll start things off with weeks.
Yes.
How's your week been, sir?
It's been pretty good. Watched a couple things. We went through some. There's children that way, and they love Studio Ghibli, so we end up watching a lot of same things over, or like anything they like, it stays on for a while.
That's fair.
But there's one thing like some of the Studio Ghibli stuff I don't mind. Like last week, I think it was like Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, great movie.
And yeah, I caught something. I've seen it a bunch of times, and I caught something in it. Just something's kind of realized something in it that I was like, I didn't see that before. And that's the fact that Sophie, many times throughout that, shows that she has the power. That she could be technically a witch herself, even though they make a joke about it. But there's things she does that, and it's not. A lot of it's like kind of like Tolkien magic, right? Yeah. Like J.R. Tolkien in The Lord of the Rings. Like you do see some cool magic stuff every once in a while, big thing, but like the ability to encourage someone, to give them words to speak, to make it, that's magic in Tolkien's world.
Right.
It just has the ability to completely make somebody depressed by talking to them, make them feel worse. That's magic. And that's, the dark magic that does that.
Right.
So there's, I guess maybe with all the token stuff I was thinking about more lately, but that's the kind of stuff that she shows.
So she is a bard?
She may be.
No.
She might be a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also might be a ranger.
No, she's too good for that. But this was Kiki's, and then I watched Hocus Pocus 2.
Okay, I'm curious about this. My girlfriend wants to see this movie pretty bad.
Okay, not so much for me, but I know for a lot of people around a certain age, that first movie is special.
Right.
There's just something about it, right? That movie's good.
Okay.
I like the original Hocus Pocus.
Right.
Hocus Pocus 2 is not very good.
See, that's what I was afraid of. That's when the question came up of, are we going to watch this, was I don't know if they're going to do it justice.
Yeah. And I don't.
Really? Interesting, Faith.
Well, you're going to enjoy it. Like if you're coming back as a Hocus Pocus fan and you're coming in to watch this, I think you're going to enjoy it kind of like, yes, they got these people back on screen.
Thanks for the follow, Thorn Tamer.
Thank you. There's things that they get right, and it's really, I can't think, the acting and throughout, nobody does a bad job.
Yeah.
I will say, there's a little redhead girl at the beginning who's playing a young Winifred.
Okay.
Yeah, she's good.
All right.
That really cracked me up. Well, because how they jump, it could be a standalone movie, because even if the first movie didn't happen, not spoiling anything, the black candle's lit.
Yeah.
On Halloween night, so it would have brought them back. Yeah,
right, absolutely.
But it does tie into the first one very well. And I realize this is a kids movie. They it just, in some places it felt rushed.
Okay,
like not like the story was rushing. Like they rushed to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it has some good parts and some good characters. I don't this might sound a little bit mean,
Okay.
but the Winifred sisters are the sisters are yeah, they're getting old.
Yeah, I understand.
It's look, in the first movie, I could believe they were immortal and like kind of trapped in time, moving.
Right.
Yeah, maybe this movie should have been made sooner.
I got you.
But it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. If you like the first one, I think maybe it's worth a watch. Because there's things in there that are good, and they're good because of the first one.
I like the version of the first one that's in my head.
Yeah.
The version of the first one that doesn't have any of the scenes that I found boring or that didn't really work and just has all the great, awesome scenes. That version of the movie I love. And I haven't seen the movie in a long time. So I know if I go back and watch it, I'm not going to like it as much as I like the version that's in my head.
I don't know. The nostalgia may kick in. I mean,
it could.
You can tell when it was made, right?
Yeah.
And the first Hocus Pocus, when you go back, it is dated.
Yeah.
It's got to stay. Not that it's bad or anything, but the film quality, everything that's being used.
Man, that scene at the party though, when I put a spell on you and now you're mine. Yeah. That's such a good scene.
That's such a great song.
Yeah, that's very true, and that probably helps that scene a lot. But
hey, soundtracks can make a good movie great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with that.
You want to talk about soundtracks? I've been watching Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
We're now on season 3 of Cobra Kai, and that soundtrack has only gotten better. It still plays songs from the original movies, Karate Kid, every once in a while, but the actual Cobra Kai soundtrack is really good.
Okay. Not the soundtrack or the score or both?
I think both. I think they both work really well together because the score is great, but then the licensed music and the use of the licensed music is really good as well.
Okay. Well, I didn't know there was a difference until this all land. The Crow. I got The Crow, the first movie, Brandon Lee, right? Dude, that soundtrack was made for me.
Yeah.
Okay, with those artists on it, right? And yeah, they put out when they put out the first Crow, they put out the soundtrack and the score.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in there where Brandon Lee's sitting on the roof and the Rainey's playing electric guitar. The Crow sitting up there with their electric guitar. That's not on the soundtrack. And I wanted that part.
Yeah.
That's on the score.
Of course.
God.
Heard it took a bit to get into, but yeah, the start is a little slow, I'll say, but it's setting up, and then just bam, it goes. And the places it goes, I really did not see coming, honestly. That it surprised me quite a bit.
Surprises can be good sometimes.
There is one fight scene in season 2, towards the end of season 2, that makes use of a long continuous shot with no cuts for a bunch of different fights that are all interstitched together, and it's incredible. It's such a good shot.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right, what else you got? What else you got in your week?
So
I know we played Lotro, but
we did some Lotro, and that's always fun. I did unlock my my hair pet afterwards. Probably not gonna see a lot of that. Probably mostly Boggy, but
Yeah.
But
you can have Boggy and the rabbit at the same time.
I tried that, and unfortunately, it doesn't count as a default pet. It counts as a Lorekeeper summon, and so I can't.
Yeah,
but that's right. We got some lore, some lore skills. I read skills and found out that there were other abilities I needed to be using other than just lightning.
That might be the dumbest statement I've ever heard you say, Trey.
Lightning does everything it needs to do.
Come on.
I have the ability to shoot lightning once or to shoot it 5 times. I mean,
Yeah.
But I played some more Guild Wars, trying to get into Path of Fire so that I can get further into that. and recorded a couple videos that I still have to do all the editing for. But the first one is the first in a series that I did on FF14 way back when, which is, hey, if you're going to play this class and you're like curious about it, here's how this class works. And I only have one class currently maxed out in Guild Wars. So the rest of the videos in that series are going to take a while. But, you know, I'm going to keep working on story while slowly getting the rest of them up there. But I'm really happy with how that turned out so far. I've got to finish editing it still. But it's pretty good. And then because it was a light news week, I played a lot of little games. Like little first impressions here and there of a lot of stuff. So I'll give a quick rundown of Necrosmith, Slime Rancher 2, and what was the last one called? I
don't know. You played it.
I got the list right over here. It's Let's Build a Zoo. That was the last one. Let's Build a Zoo. So it's not all gonna fit, so I'm just gonna put these two for now. Necrosmith is like a weird roguelike where you remember like the old school tower defense games where you could manually control a minion and run around the map? And the tower just continued to turn out stuff. This is that, except that you're defending the tower, and the tower doesn't do things automatically. So you're having to control the minions if you want them to go specific places and do stuff at the tower. But the minions will roam on their own. And you got to collect parts to build more Zambinos and skeletons and stuff. And it's really cool. But the rounds are really long. And I think if the rounds were a little bit shorter, I would probably enjoy it more. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I need to get further into it. Slime Rancher 2, I got to play the game preview of that. It really is just more of the first game, but better. Which, honestly, there's not much more to ask for with Slime Rancher. It's about ranching slimes and making giant pens. And I could do that, and I accidentally made a bunch of tars again. And for anybody who's never played those games, it is horrifying when you accidentally make a tar. Because your slimes all start panicking and crying. And the tar just like sneaks a tendril out and stabs a slime and then drains its life from within it and turns it into another tar. And so that kind of becomes a big problem really quick. And
you want a bunch of tars.
Yeah. They also eat all your chickens and all your crops and stuff. So, you know, got to get rid of those quick. But it's a really fun game. I want to play the full version and not just the game preview when it comes out. But Game Pass had the preview up, so I was able to check that out. And then Let's Build a Zoo. I had a much longer thing for this, for all three of these, because I didn't think we were going to have much news this week. But Let's Build a Zoo is it is a zoo sim, but done up with a nice pixel-based graphic style. It's cool. I like it. But they want you to crossbreed your rabbits to get different kinds of rabbits so that you can trade them for other animals. And man, I just wanted to get the bigger animals. About the point that I have 16 rabbits in one giant rabbit pen and 9 pigs. I just want hyenas, man. I know I got to breed these rabbits to get snakes to be able to trade for these hyenas.
Well, it sounds like you got food for them for a while. The rabbits are big.
Yeah, plenty. But it's a cool game. It's got more of a time investment than I expected it to be. And time is unfortunately one of the things I don't have a lot of. So lastly for my week, just wanted to mention this because I did get a comment asking about it. The kittens are doing fine. And if you notice more scratches on my face or on my hands during painting streams and stuff, they're fine, and that's where those come from.
Yeah.
So I got a comment that was asking, hey, you haven't talked about the kittens in a while. Are they okay? Also, what happened to your face? Well, I mean, that answers itself, that question, that is. So
I shall answer both questions at once.
But that's been pretty much my week. I did want to give a quick shout out to the Magnus Archives. I'll bring it up again later in plugs, but it is a podcast that I've started listening to that is podcast is not the right term for it, but it's what podcasts were before they became what they are now.
Okay.
It's a radio show style every so many times. I think it has finished recently, but they would upload a new episode of it, which is just a story, a horror short story that's all tied into the same big genre, kind of like a Welcome to Night Vale.
Yeah.
And it's very good. Very good. Been listening to that while cleaning stuff up at the house. So.
Do you know who Art Bell is?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. We'll talk later.
Okay.
About that. He had a radio show. Very interesting radio show.
Okay.
All right.
I do love me some horror. All right. Well, now that we've finished weeks, move into reviews.
All right. We got 3 of them, huh?
We do. And for people who don't know how we play this game, we put up the review ice cream. People get to guess. And if you get any of the answers correct, you get your name put on the Ice Cream Wall of Fame for the rest of the show. John Cassidy, that's fair.
Okay.
But we make you work for those guesses. I'm not just going to tell you the score. So our first game is called Sunday Gold.
Sunday Gold.
Sunday Gold.
How's Sunday spelled?
Like the day of the week.
Okay.
So this
I didn't
is
know if this is a Dairy Queen ad or what.
I love how people are just shooting out scores now. They don't even know what kind of game it is yet. Just bam.
Yeah. All right.
Sunday Gold is a point-and-click adventure, turn-based combat RPG. If you had asked me if that would ever exist, I would have told you no, but here we are. It's got a lot of puzzles. It's got a lot of character building, stuff like that, you know. And it's made by Becom Studios and Team 17 for PC release.
Okay. Well, we got some scores up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say 72.
Okay. 77, 82, and 80. Now, for those who've never seen this before, we push the button on the axe. The axe tells us to wait.
Wait. Hold on. Get your scores in.
Then it says we can go.
I got the scores in. Let's go.
The correct answer is 72. You got it.
Ooh, I get ice cream.
Your name goes on the Ice Cream Wall of Fame.
Give me some. I thought the game was about ice cream at first, but it wasn't. And then I ended up with ice cream anyway. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, sir.
Right on. Right on.
All right. Let me read a couple of these reviews for you.
All right. All right.
We have COG Connected says, as I said before, point and clicks aren't usually my thing. Putting things randomly together, making obscure leaps of logic, and cycling through inventories just gets boring for me. But Sunday Gold offers so much more than most point and click games. It's got JRPG-like combat. There's the fun minigames, and it's excellently voice acted, and it looks gorgeous. Sure, the story won't blow you away, but trust me, Sunday Gold is a big game in a little package, and it's definitely worth a look.
That wasn't a bad review, actually.
Pretty good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if I want to read the funny one or the good one that actually gives you information. I'll be nice right now.
Right,
okay. Hey Poor Player says Sunday Gold is an intriguing mix of genres that really does a good job at capturing the intensity of a criminal crew going on a high-stakes heist. Sadly, its breakneck pace is often slowed down by too many puzzles that require tedious pixel hunting to progress. Nonetheless, it's well worth preserving for its stylishly presented story and exciting capers. Your cup of tea is cyberpunk cockneys having a right laugh, uncovering labyrinthine conspiracies, and making a few bob in the process, then you'd best have at it, my son.
Okay. Now, I understood that last sentence perfectly.
I did too, honestly, but there will definitely be people that will not.
Yeah. So are they going to recommend it?
The question.
I'm going to go 86.
Okay. We had an 82 that was almost a maybe 83, but came back down to 82. 85 and a 77.
Yeah. So nobody gets a score in before it goes. There we go.
The answer is 52%.
Oh, wow. It dropped way down.
It sure did.
I thought one of those things like, this game's not great, but you should try it. But apparently it's not.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I went through all the blurbs on this one because I was like, man, there's got to be something that I can give a hint to show that. And the closest one was the last one I read. Everything else is glowing reviews and then 52%.
I don't know. Okay. Well,
Can
give
you
it
do
52 because it's not a game for you.
right? Next up, we have kind of a game, honestly, that I forgot existed. It was coming out. And that is Lego Bricktales. You didn't even let me finish saying the name of the game, Waverly.
I think she's just saying 82 every time.
This one's going to be an 82. I feel it.
Lego Bricktales.
Yes.
Which is nothing like Disney DuckTales, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. Well then.
So this is a really interesting game, and I just throw genres at you, but I feel like you need to know what this is. This is building Lego kit dioramas as a video game with puzzles to get the parts to keep building more onto it.
I guess that's kind of probably a cheaper way to get all those Legos that you would need for that.
But if you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of space at home, this could be a cool way to do that. But
yeah.
Sounds tedious. I do that. There's the two differences.
Yeah. I don't know. Because if the sound's right, the music's nice and everything, you get a nice click when the bricks go together, a nice maybe a little popping sound or something when they come apart. It may, I don't know, it may ASMR you. You might be involved in some ASMRs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It could be smurs for you.
Smurs.
So,
all right.
What are you thinking?
All right. What do we got?
I got an 82, a 77, and 77 on the board.
I'm gonna go 85. I'm gonna try to lift this up this time. I'm gonna go 85. Everybody else gets a score in. I'm afraid there's one person that may.
The answer is 73.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
So, I have some reviews for you, and I want to give you this one because it's a really... I have never seen this score given to a game before, and I will tell you the score, but then I will also tell you the score of the next one that I read. That's how I'm going to balance this out, because normally I don't give the scores.
Okay.
This is a mind blown, unscored with a mind blown given on the score.
Okay.
It says, Lego Bricktales is suitable for all ages to play. Children and adults alike will love being able to play with Lego bricks in the game. The story's charming. I really enjoyed it. In addition, each diorama is unique, brightly colored, and full of Lego bricks. The puzzles are very enjoyable and challenging. The game encourages you to be creative, especially in the sandbox mode. I like the freedom the game offers in the puzzles, as there isn't just one way to solve a puzzle. It's great fun thinking outside the box and finding your own solution to the puzzles.
You have sold Will.
95. Stamp it down there. However, I'm going to do another one here, and I will give you their score as well. The Beta Network gives it a 4 out of 10. And says, Lego Bricktales fails to live up to its potential. The game's build mechanic is really tedious and annoying. The Lego pieces are often difficult to maneuver into specific positions, and the controls are quite awkward. The level exploration is bland, and the narrative is simplistic and uninteresting. Overall, Lego Bricktales is a real disappointment and not worth the time investment.
Golly. I could almost got those 2 reviews out of our chat when you mentioned the game.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. All right. So the recommended score?
Yes.
Should be 64.
Okay. And a 95. That old classic A2.
82, right. 27, 64. This may be one of the most spread out I've seen the scores for us. So
look, eventually that 82 has to be right. If you just keep shooting the moon, one day you're going to hit it. Score is 46%.
Oh, I had him backwards, right?
Yep, you had him backwards.
Dang. Gosh, dug it.
Unfortunately, there was one firm mind blown, and then everybody else was like, it's all right.
Well, I don't know. It does sound like it would be like a kiddie game where you put bricks together. I don't know what was kind of being expected out of it.
Yeah. Finally, here we have the game that I've been saving. Nightbot says it's ad time, but oh, there come the ads. There they come. Gives me time to type this anyway. Then gives me time to take a drink.
Tap it in, buddy. Here we go. Ah.
That was good stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Next up, we have Asterigos Curse of the Stars. Bricktales. Ooh. That was a drink without a hydrate. I needed that one.
Okay, so the name of that game again?
Asterigos Curse of the Stars. And again, I could just throw a bunch of genres at you, but instead, do you remember Phoenix Immortals Rising?
Yeah, vaguely.
The Ubisoft game that came out after Breath of the Wild that was trying to be that, but in Greece.
Yeah.
It's that, but with Dark Souls combat. That's Asterigos.
All right.
77. I mean, could be.
79.
Okay. You?
77, 82,
75?
75, 79. We're all bunching back up.
The correct answer is 75. Will's on the board today, too.
Nice. It's been a while. Way to go, Will. Got it up there.
Yo.
Heck yeah. Gundam Battle 3.
Yo. So, Asterigos, right?
Yeah.
I wanna give you.
What dinosaur is that? It's Asterigos.
I cannot tell you how hard I had to work to make sure I could say it right every time.
Okay.
I want to give you these two reviews, which, much like all the reviews tonight, could not be further from each other, right?
Okay.
Fingergun says Acme Game Studio has delivered an incredible. Yes, Acme, that is correct. Has delivered an incredible debut with Asterigos Curse of the Stars. If, like me, you've been suffering from Souls-like burnout, this might be the game for you. It's gorgeous to look at, constantly engaging, and an absolute joy to play. Asterigos is not just one of the best indie games I've played this year, but one of the best, most complete games I've played in a long time, indie or otherwise. It's an outstanding, honest-to-goodness adventure made with love, sincerity, and attention to detail. It is incredible. Play it. Now, just real quick, just gotta say.
Hey.
That's right. You get some ice cream, Will. If you're getting tired of Souls-likes, there's a bunch of other games to play, man, that are still adventure games. I get it. I truly do. I love them, but I understand why somebody might be getting tired of them. But to then go, hey, this game that plays like them is exactly what you're looking for. The second review.
Okay.
We'll put it at a 99. Okay. Second review from Noob Feed is Asterigos Curse of the Stars is not the most stable game. It's generally fine, but on occasion the game stutters to the point where it becomes unplayable, and this happened several times while playing it. Right. During those moments, you just need to run away from enemies because you will not be able to fight them when the frame rates drop to single digits. But luckily, it does stabilize soon enough. So, should you play Asterigos Curse of the Stars? It's a solid action RPG with a good set of upgrades and combat capabilities that are rather generic, but it should keep you entertained for some time.
Okay, I'm kind of... That. Are you sure it was a game? Was it your hardware that was making it start like that?
Good question.
Did you double check that before you ratted them out on that?
Right.
I don't know. We got a 99, 77. I'm gonna go 88. We're gonna keep it.
Oh, Will's changed up to 100.
You ruined it. I'll stay with 88.
Okay.
And the 82. Okay.
Of course. I knew the 82. It was the inherent 82. The correct score is 64%.
I was on the wrong game last time. Gosh, dug it.
So yeah, it pretty well recommended, and then just like driven down by possibly their own hardware. We don't know.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, to take a review like that, like the game, I can tell you Low Turtle is going to lag.
Yeah,
right.
It's gonna happen.
I can almost guarantee you Low Turtle is going to lag because I got enough stories to back it up. Like a huge pool of people that love the game, but go, yeah, they got to fix some stuff in there.
There was a guy when Guild Wars 2 came out on Steam. There was a guy that reviewed it on Steam and said the game is unplayable while I'm downloading torrents. It's like you're playing an MMO.
While downloading torrents, how much bandwidth do you have?
Right, of course it's unplayable, man. Why are you giving it a terrible review for that?
I mean, if the guy has like a T1 line or a direct fiber optic cable,
right?
Then maybe
sure.
I would, yeah, sure. Hey, that shouldn't be going like that.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, but there was a guy. There was a guy. Hold on. There was a guy. I want to know the guy who believed, just to prove the internet and speed. He was very close to the hub, and he used fiber optics to run internet to his grandmother's computer. And this was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it could download. The example I gave of how fast his internet was going, he could send the information, all the information that was in the Library of Congress through it in just a couple of seconds.
Wow.
It was stupid fast. Yeah. He did it as a stunt because if you put on a vehicle, you call it a governor. The governor doesn't let it go over 70.
Right.
There's a cap. There's a governor on the internet.
Yes. Consolidated is his name.
Yeah. That's part of it. That's part of it. But
I could tell you stories of trying to upload hour-plus long videos and the sheer inconsistency of upload times.
Yeah. But it's from the top down, the FCC down.
Yeah.
And if you had the fiber optic lines, you would be capped at a certain speed.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Anyway.
I got a deal in the mail that was like, hey, we're going to offer you brand new satellite internet. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. All right, what are the rates? And then in the middle of the rates, it goes, yeah, but by the way, if you go over your cap, we're going to throttle you down to 2 megs. Like, excuse me? What do you mean?
Yeah. Boy.
Yeah, let's move into announcements.
All right.
So I'm going to take off the ice cream wall, but again, congratulations. And next week when it comes up, your names will still be there.
Yes, it will.
So announcement-wise, we have some cool stuff right away here in my mind, which is P3P. Anybody who doesn't know what these means, I'm having so much fun with this. And P4G now have a release date, which is January 19th. So, do you know what these mean?
That's Persona, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, coming to PC January 19th, which is great. Wonderful. I'm not ready for the people that haven't played P4G to talk about it with the way that the world is right now and the fact that it has a character that cross-dresses. I'm not looking forward to those conversations because it's not going to be good on any side because that conversation still happens every single week on Twitter anyway. So just, not looking forward to that. But otherwise, they're great games, and I can't wait to play them again.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Also, they weren't available on any forward hardware until very recently. And so now they're going to be available on basically everything. You had to use a Vita TV to be able to play Persona 4 Golden before, which is not ideal.
Right. Yeah. Talk about getting a niche market.
Yeah. Next up for announcements, we have Among Us VR coming November 10th.
That would be weird.
Yeah, they showed a video of it, and it looks weird.
Yeah.
But kind of cool in some ways. I think that it's going to be way more obvious who the imposter is because the way that people are going to be moving, because they're moving with actual VR tech,
Yeah.
They're gonna be doing this a lot more and looking around to make sure nobody sees them before they kill somebody. But you also have to physically run to the emergency meeting button. So like,
well, hold on
it
now.
Could be good.
If you're VR inside the hood, when you turn your head, you're gonna see the inside of the hood.
Yeah,
you've only got the maybe that's the way they get around with it.
Maybe
I do think the mechanics of the game are going to be a little bit different.
Yeah,
in 3D.
I think so too.
I'm sure they took that into consideration. We'll find out.
I'm very curious if this will get ported to other consoles. So, like, if it'll come to PlayStation VR, and the rumor that Xbox is going to allow you to use because Microsoft doesn't have their own VR headset yet. But the rumor going around is that the Xbox Series X is going to have a new patch coming soon that will allow you to use things like the Oculus or what is that one called that starts with a G? It's completely left my mind. Other VR headsets, since they don't have one, they would allow you to use them on the Xbox Series X, which would be really cool. But either way, Among Us is not a game that I super like playing. I used to play it a lot and with a group of friends, and it almost always led to people actually getting upset and getting their feelings hurt. And that's not the way you want to play those games. So, but then we got maybe the weirdest announcement of the week, and maybe of a lot of time. I don't want to say the year, but Evercore Heroes.
I'm glad we're talking about games coming out and giving a date instead of talking about them being delayed.
Yes, I agree with you.
So we're doing good so far.
Evercore Heroes is a brand new genre, they claim, called a MOCO.
They just made that up.
They did. Multiplayer online co-op. Now, I have a couple quick things on this. The first thing is that has existed for a long time. It's called MMORPG.
Yeah.
Even like Halo and Call of Duty that allow you to co-op through the story together. But
if you asked me to hey, what's some MMO co-op games? I would have named some.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Okay, maybe the marketing wasn't that exactly, but the whole premise of that is working together.
But the reason they've come up with this term for it is because it is doing something that no other game has really done online, which is it will be a 4-man per team, 4-person team with 4 teams, each racing to complete raid dungeons the fastest, trying to do like world firsts in the same mission, like in the same map together.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is really interesting. I think it could be really good. It's very different.
Who's putting out this game?
So this is made by former Riot and EA devs that have quit both those companies to make their own company. There's going to be a playtest October 13th to 16th. It looks like a MOBA, but you're not fighting each other. You're fighting the raid bosses and trying to take them down. The closest thing, I guess, would be like when MOBAs have... Welcome back, Will. When MOBAs have like individual bosses on the map that anybody on the team can fight, except now there's 4 teams all trying to take those down.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it's good. A lot of people have said that it should probably be called like OCO, Online Competitive Co-op, instead.
Yeah, because you still have separate teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
But, Evercore Heroes, I'm probably going to try and get into the playtest. That seems like it could be kind of cool. But we'll see.
Right on.
They have revealed a couple of characters for it, which all seem to be from different teams, because there's 4 different teams, But one of them is Lotus, who has like a gem but leaf blade kind of pattern, which seems really interesting, called a battle mender. Becco, which is a little tiny person with, every fantasy world has to have its tiny people, with a crooked staff and looks kind of like a druid, and it's called Spirit Healer. Cinder, who is a pyromancer, who's dressed like he came from Arcane, the League of Legends show. And Zari, who is a solar archer, which looks really cool, but kind of looks like an Overwatch character in some ways. And they'll probably be showing off more as time passes, but it's a kind of cool idea with some kind of cool character designs, and I'll check it out. We'll see. But,
all right. I'll hear more about it.
Evercore Heroes.
Because I think there's a few different attempts at something like that.
Yeah.
Fable did one. What was that? Fable? What?
Was it Fable Heroes?
I think so. They had, EverQuest was an early MMO, but they had EverQuest Heroes.
Yeah.
Which was not online. They couldn't get that part working, but you had to play co-op. You could play co-op in the room, 1, 2, 4 players, I think.
Yeah.
Then Fable had that. Now with Fable, that was 4 against 1.
Yeah,
right?
it was Fable Heroes. I just looked it up.
Yeah. So now we got Evercore Heroes.
Yeah.
And see what's different from. Okay, yes, because Fable Heroes had 4 players were a team, and then you had 1 player who was the boss, right? So they're just taking that player out and just having the teams go.
Yeah. You know who did Moko's first? Castle Crashers.
Oh, shit.
4 different players could play together, and then when you get to the end of the level, you have to turn on each other to try and be the one who wins the princess. Well, you didn't win the princess. You won a kiss from the princess, unless it was the one princess, and then she just like licked you and ran away. But that's a weird game, man.
Yeah. Which princess is that?
So anyway, that's our announcements. We'll get to the news. And if you're going, man, we are just burning through this, don't worry. Some of these news stories are going to take a while. Let's start off with Yoko Taro's message.
Okay.
So this is a message to the fans.
All right.
And I need you to understand when I begin to read this, that this is, in fact, the man, the myth, the legend, Yoko Taro himself who wrote this. And prepare yourself. I love this man so much. This is for the end of Yorha edition of the Nier Automata that came out on Switch just recently. He put out this statement and says, "Greetings. This is Yoko Taro, creative director for the Nier series. That we were able to release Nier Automata on the Switch was entirely down to all the fans who have supported us, and I have nothing but gratitude towards all of you, and I have a message for you now. If you are reading this, it means that I have already been sent to a factory deep underground. This facility houses a large number of kidnapped game creators who are being subjected to punishing forced labor, and I am unable to escape. The whole evil plot is being orchestrated by Square Enix. They were previously being run by a cruel and diabolical management team, but introduced a new AI system to improve efficiency around 6 months ago. The system then made the management team, no, I can hear footsteps at the door. There's no time. Everyone, run while you still can." And then the second message says, "Hello there. This is Nier series producer Yosuke Saito. Thanks to all the fans who always support us, we've managed to release Nier Automata for the Nintendo Switch. Thank you so much to everyone. I would also like to announce that we have succeeded in developing an AI to allow Yoko Taro to work on new games without getting bogged down. This was thanks to the calls of support from all the people out there who want to play new Yoko Taro games. Look forward to new stuff coming from Yoko Taro, Yosuke Saito, series producer."
Yeah, I would totally believe that for somebody who worked at Square Enix. That's yeah.
Also, for anybody who doesn't know, Yoko Taro is the biggest troll on the internet, and I love him. When they asked him if Final Fantasy XIV and Nier, the series, could cross over, Yoko Taro's response was, "Of course. When can I kill the player's character?" And had to be told, "It's an MMO. We can't let you do that. We literally cannot let you do that. We won't. We have to sell more expansions." And his response was, "Then who can I kill?"
Yes. I need to know.
So, I expect this will come back.
Asking the important questions when you to find out the details.
Yeah.
You need to know these things.
I do love, too, the memes that have come from this of people like Yoko Taro's being held against his will, crying face, and then to make new video games, everybody cheers. Oh, that was just a little thing that I felt like we had to read because, how could we not? This next part is also just a little thing, but Guild Wars 2 is having the Shadow of the Mad King event come up. That's the Halloween event. Wouldn't even really be news to say, hey, there's a Halloween event, but it didn't happen last year, so it's back now.
Okay. I mean, most MMOs should be running some kind of festival right now.
Yeah.
Or something. Some kind of special. If not now, here in a few days.
Right. Yeah, this is the time, man. Come on now.
Come on.
I've already got my game picked out to be uploaded on Halloween.
Nice.
Very excited. I haven't played that game yet. I need to record that soon so I have time to edit it, but I'm stoked. But It looks pretty cool. Dancing skeletons and things like that. Always down for that. Did I ever tell you, I know we don't talk about them very often, but one of the big seminal MMORPGs, the first day I played it was on Halloween, and I didn't realize that when I started playing. And I got into, out of the starting zone and into the first major city area, and the Pumpkin Jack was riding around on his horse throwing pumpkins at people, and you had to put out fires, and I thought it was just a normal event going on in the world. No, it was...
This place is crazy.
This guy just show up here? What's going on? This is supposed to be a town. Yeah. So this one's probably like a little bit because I kind of want to do a fun little thing here with everybody. The Golden Joysticks Awards for 2022 have started up their voting.
Okay.
And you don't have to have an account to vote. So I was thinking we vote live.
Okay.
So
let's do this.
They have 18 awards. It really won't take that long because there's not that many options for them.
Yeah.
But the very first one is Best Audio. This also lets us go through all the nominees. TMNT Shredder's Revenge is up for one of them, which is great. Great audio, I'm sure. I haven't played it myself yet, but I'm sure. TMNT game. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is up for Best Audio. I can vouch for that game having incredible audio. Gran Turismo 7. Now, this is where I think they should have two different categories because the technical audio is going to be way better than every other game on this list. But I don't know if the soundtrack is as good,
And also, that shouldn't be the same thing because that's going to have a radio where you can change the stations.
Right.
All right.
We Are the OFK, Metal Hellsinger, and Ollie Ollie World. Now, I'm personally leaning towards Xenoblade Chronicles 3, of course, but it's also the only one that I've played myself that I can vouch for.
Well, I would like to remain on the podcast, so I want to vote Xenoblade.
All right, we're going to vote Xenoblade and move on. Next up is Best Multiplayer, which is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Splatoon 3, Multiverses, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Interesting to see it here. I understand why it is, but Elden Ring. All right, look now. Multiplayer in Elden Ring's okay. Let Me Summon Her is great, and that happened because of the multiplayer in Elden Ring. But you also can go that entire game without ever summoning anybody.
Right.
And then TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Those are our nominees for Best Multiplayer.
Okay. Look, I've got a dilemma, dude.
Okay.
I'm voting. Because my vote's gonna go for somebody.
Okay.
And I thought I had it wrapped up. You know who the vote's going for?
Yeah, I do.
Who I'm voting for. Okay. So I thought I had it wrapped up when you said the first.
Until TMNT.
Yes.
The only thing for me is that TMNT Shredder's Revenge doesn't allow online play.
Okay. So
and
we'll go.
For me, that's enough to make me go, we should probably go Tiny Tina's.
Yeah. Okay.
Best game community. Oh, man. Good luck with this one, right? Are you a member of that community? You probably think it's the best one. However, I do think a couple of these we're going to be like, yeah, these are really good communities. Final Fantasy 14.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good community.
Yeah. I know what communities aren't going to be on here. That's what...
The Smash community. Warframe. That's a pretty good community.
Okay.
Grid Legends. I didn't know that community existed. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
The Dreams community. They continue to make levels. They're continuing to have a good time there.
Okay.
The No Man's Sky community. I did say F14. And the Splatoon 3 community. The Gundam community.
Obviously, their list is incomplete. They haven't been watching the numbers.
For me, I would either say FF14 or Warframe. I haven't heard a peep out of the Dreams community other than they're still making levels. Okay. And the No Man's Sky community is basically just, hey, the game came back.
So, here's my thing. I'm going to go Final Fantasy 14 for my vote.
Yeah.
For my idea. Not that I play Final Fantasy 14. I play Lord of the Rings online.
Right.
And it's a kind of a strange thing, but when I hear from people who play dedicated Final Fantasy 14, like YouTubers and stuff,
yeah,
they're always got nice things to say about Lotro.
Right, for sure.
And they don't have to.
Yeah, for sure.
And then all the developers and stuff in Lotro, which is a very small team, they play Final Fantasy 14.
I don't blame them.
You know, they play that and they watch that, and so they've got connections there. So I'm gonna pull Final Fantasy 14.
I want to give a quick shout out too to the FF14 community for being the only community I've ever seen that went, our sound director, our guy who writes all of our songs has cancer. He can take some time off. He can take some time off if he needs to. I've never seen a community rally behind, hey, that man should rest. And then when he beat cancer, the celebration.
Hold on now. MMO communities are kind of special. And
That's true.
Is great.
It's very true.
Amazing. And there's a company we don't give much, pretty much ignore.
Yeah.
But the players on that.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
You know, there's a couple times where something has happened.
Yeah. That's the real question.
Something's happened, and it's the players that
100%
held the funeral.
100%.
And as much as I don't like Warcraft, there's some stories, like human stories, not from the game,
right?
Human stories that are pretty cool. They're not coming from the developers, but they're pretty cool.
I think you're right too that it's the MMO community specifically, because when Kentaro Miura passed away, the creator of Berserk, every MMO had a vigil. Every single one. Of people like lined, and I was in the FF14 one, people lined up all the way across the major cities, giving out campfires to put beneath you. Just incredible.
Yeah. Boy.
Next up, we have Best Game Expansion. We have Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course. That's true, Faith. We have Destiny 2, The Witch Queen. This one was probably paid to put on here. GTA Online, The Contract. Final Fantasy 14, Endwalker. That shouldn't count. That came out last year. I guess, to be fair, it came out after the Golden Joysticks because the Golden Joysticks are happening right now. So they happened right now last year. Guild Wars 2, End of Dragons, and Total War Warhammer 3, Immortal Empires. And look, I'm not trying to just come here and fight for Final Fantasy 14, but Endwalker is my favorite Final Fantasy game.
Well, see, I know how you feel about Endwalker.
Yeah.
I know how you feel about the story of how it went and everything like that.
Yeah.
Guild Wars seems to be doing some good stuff too, though.
Yeah, I haven't made it to End of Dragons. It's the worst part. It could be that after I get done with End of Dragons, I look back on this and go, man, maybe I would have fought for it more, but I don't really think so.
All right. I've got to go. Just because of the effect, I'm going to go with the Endwalker. Okay. It would be my vote for that. I just think it's, from what I've heard from you about that, kind of the beats in that.
Yeah, it took a lot to unseat Final Fantasy IV for me. That's been my favorite Final Fantasy since I was a child, and it did. So next up, we have best gaming hardware. You're gonna love this one. The options are Backbone 1, the PlayStation Edition, which is the phone controller. Okay. WD Black SN850 NVMe SSD for PS5.
Yeah. Okay.
The Analog Pocket. The Rocat Cone XP. The Steam Deck. And the Playdate. I'm going to defer to you on this one because the only one that makes sense to me is Steam Deck here. But no ad for you? Yeah. Well, that's good.
I don't know. Okay. Kind of okay. Steam Deck's one thing. You've got a hard drive for the PS5.
Yeah.
I think that was the second thing you said.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not sure what Playdate is.
So Playdate is a handheld, like old school Game Gear style emulator machine. You can play older emulated games on it, but you can't play a lot of the, like, by the time you get to like Game Boy Advance, it can't handle that.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So it's an emulator up against a bunch of other weird hardware, and much as the Steam Deck has problems, it can emulate all the way through PS2. You know, like it's weird to put those two side by side.
Yeah, but if you have the Steam Deck on there, why aren't the Xbox X and the PlayStation 5 on there?
I 100% agree with you. I don't understand what they're doing here.
I don't know. Read the list one more time.
Okay, so it is the Backbone 1 PlayStation Edition, which is, of course, your phone, remote play, and it gives you the PlayStation controllers around it.
Yeah.
The SSD for PS5. The Analog Pocket, which is a Game Boy emulator that looks like a Game Boy. Again, can't go past Game Boy. That's all it does. The Rocat Cone XP mouse, the Steam Deck, and the Playdate. Such a weird list.
I really don't know. It's like why are all those on the same list?
I don't know. They're so different from each other. And if you'd asked me at the start of this year if I would even consider voting for the Steam Deck, I would have said no. But it really has improved over the year. And so now it's like head and shoulders above all of these when it comes to hardware. But it's also so situational. If you're somebody that only plays on console, on PS5 specifically, that external or that memory is all you want on this list. Like, nothing else matters.
Yeah. And I don't know, and that may be a breakthrough. That may be like a great thing for the for the PlayStation.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess the Steam Deck. I mean,
that's where I'm at too. Is, I mean, out of what these can do, it does the most out of all of them.
Yeah.
Next up, this one hopefully won't be quite as difficult or confusing, is best indie game. Roller Drome, Dwarf Romantic, Teardown, Dwarf Romantic,
okay,
Teardown, Neon White, Tunic, and Cult of the Lamb. Not dwarf, Dorf.
DORF.
Yeah.
Where I learned to play golf from. Okay.
I'm leaning on Tunic personally. Like, these are some good indie games, but that Dwarf Romantic would be good.
I think I'm going with Tunic.
Yeah.
It's just I'm a little nervous right now. If I get this wrong, I know who I'm going to have to answer to.
That's fair. It's not me this time.
No.
Best storytelling. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, Tunic, yeah.
Agree. Best storytelling, and there's some weird choices here. Horizon Forbidden West, Wayward Strand, which is the indie game about the girl that's in the strange town. Norco, which is the bar game. I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, which I think is a visual novel.
Okay.
Return to Monkey Island, and Immortality, which is an FMV game. There's so many games that have great storytelling that are not here that came out this year, and I don't know why.
Well, it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird thing because of the way a couple of us tell. Okay, Horizon Forbidden West. That's kind of classic, kind of video game telling. But you've gone through some visual novels.
Mm-hmm.
One that's pretty much a movie.
Yeah.
And then the monkey one, the one that just went out of my head.
Return to Monkey Island, yeah.
Return to Monkey Island. That game was built on its ability to storytell.
Right.
I'm going with that one. Return to Monkey Island.
I will defer to you on this one too, because I am so unsure between those. Next up is Best Visual Design. And this is Cult of the Lamb, Lost in Play, which has kind of like a cartoonish style visual design, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, A Plague Tale Requiem, and Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh, man. Okay, for me, because this is a visual thing. This is just not how it plays. This is how it looks.
Yeah.
The game look compelling. Oh, man.
I'm torn. I think there are parts of Elden Ring that look so beyond incredible that when I see them,
yes,
I'm just my breath is taken away. And then I think there are some things that are just like, oh, okay, this is just a cave.
Yeah, and then Plague Tale's got it looks cool, you know.
Yeah. And Ghostwire Tokyo has I think the best thing about that game is how it looks. I don't think it plays very well. I think the best thing about it is how it looks.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Plague Tale. I think that would be my.
All right.
What about you?
I think I would probably fall back on Elden Ring.
Well, for me, and you've been through Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, for me with Elden Ring, seeing like a lot of scenes, there's some like that is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely,
that is genius. And then they're like, there's others I'll say, well, that it's pretty much standard for.
What is this regular cave doing here? Yeah,
pretty much standard for fantasy. I would expect to see that.
I don't mind deferring to Plague Tale for that same reason, because like, again, the first time you get to the Eternal City or the first time you get to Mog's Blood Palace, what? But there's so many of the same catacombs all over the game.
Yeah. But you're going down that list, and it was kind of weird because you hit Elden Ring, and I get a visual in my head, and then then you said Plague Tale, and I immediately the Plague Doctor's man, and just the look of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a fair bet.
I think even among generic fantasy, as people call it, like worlds, I think the Plague Tale world stands out. I think you can look at that and know that's what that is.
Right.
And if I showed you the wrong catacomb in Elden Ring, you're going to think it's from some other random game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Plague Tale it is. Studio of the Year.
Oh.
Roll 7 that made Ollie Ollie. Interior Night that made that, I don't remember the name of the game, but it's the one where you go through the story. It's the family that go to that city, the town, and maybe kill somebody. From Software, of course. I know that didn't explain anything, but I don't remember the name of the game. Tribute Games, these are the ones who did the newest TMNT games. Terrible Toy Box, who brought back Guybrush Threepwood and Return to Monkey Island. And Half Mermaid, who did that FMV game from before. Now, what constitutes a Studio of the Year? Are we just going, hey, they made a good game? Because if, hey, they made a good game, I'm going to say it's probably From Software. But
yeah. Then you've got, and it sounds like you've got another, it kind of a different thing. You got From Software, then you got the other company that's kind of bringing it, hey, we're going to bring some of this stuff back.
Yeah.
Where you going, the TMNT and stuff. The name, as far as the names from that list, From Software has got to be the biggest one. Or at least the most one in the news, I would think.
I can't separate my knowledge of the company from this list. And the fact that Dark Souls servers were down for 138 days this year makes me go, should they win this, though?
Fair enough.
And I'm the FromSoft guy, I know, but I can't in good conscience go, yeah, their best studio when Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3 servers were down for so long. They did fix them, but...
Go through the list one more time.
So we have Roll 7, Interior Night, From Software, Tribute Games, Terrible Toy Box, and Half Mermaid. I'm leaning on Tribute Games myself.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that and go just for the turtles.
Yeah. Well, they did a bunch of good work on the turtles. You know, they made them look good. They didn't just put out a half-baked game. So this one's still playing. This is people still playing it today, which is the best of those. Sims 4, Minecraft. Why did you put Minecraft on this list? You already know what's going to win now. Destiny 2, The Elder Scrolls Online. You sure about that one this year, guys? Pokemon Go, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Genshin Impact, Lost Ark, and Final Fantasy XIV. Look.
For the consistency, the amount of put out for the way it's taking care of players, I got to go. I'm sorry, I got to go with Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft.
It has to be Minecraft. It can't not be Minecraft.
Yeah. I know.
Like, you put Tetris on the list. Guess what? It's Tetris.
Right.
So, next up, we have Best Early Access Launch. This is a weird category. Dune Spice Wars. I don't know anybody that's actually playing this game.
Nah.
Disney Dreamlight Valley. Core Keeper. Gloomwood. Vampire Survivors, and Slime Rancher 2. Vampire Survivors and Slime Rancher 2 aren't even out yet. They're still in early access, so I guess that's what we're going for here.
Yeah, going for, and from the noise, I would almost say Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Vampire Survivors. That game is, I haven't played it yet. It's on my list, but that game took over the internet for the first couple months, like after it was available.
Yeah.
Next up is Nintendo Game of the Year. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. No. Nintendo Switch Sports. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Live A Live. And Splatoon 3 are our nominees. And we're well over halfway done with this list now.
Oh. Okay, seriously, I got 2.
Yeah, I do too.
Xenoblade is Xenoblade.
Yeah.
Right? I was on Switch.
For me, it's either Xenoblade or Pokemon.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, we could flip a coin. Because I haven't finished Xenoblade to say it's going to be the big one, but Pokemon sold the Switch at the start of this year again.
Yeah. I would go just like I said, just go on noise. I would almost add effect. I would almost have to go with Pokemon.
Yeah, I think we do. I think we go with Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then in a couple months after I finish Xenoblade, I come back to this video and rage it myself.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is PlayStation Game of the Year. Nominees are Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, The Last of Us Part 1, Stray, Sifu, and Elden Ring.
Oh, man. Elden Ring got so big.
Yep. If they hadn't put that on there, I would say it probably would go to Stray for me.
Yeah. I kind of think, I'm kind of going with Stray.
Because Elden Ring was not exclusive, but Stray is.
Yeah, Stray is. And, man, people were hyped about the gameplay, but there was so much about, man, look at this. Just look at this scene. Look
how
at
good
this.
It looks.
Yeah. And I'm going to go with Stray, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. Xbox is, of course, next. Halo Infinite, why did you put that on this list?
No.
Grounded, maybe. Sniper Elite 5. As Dusk Falls, that's the game I was trying to remember the name of earlier.
Okay.
Scorn, because it came to Game Pass first, so they get to claim Scorn. And Dying Light 2 Stay Human.
Oh, man.
I haven't played any of these except for Halo.
Well, look, I know Halo Infinite ain't it. Infinite ain't it, right?
Right.
It's not it. Actually, it's between Sniper Elite 5 and Scorn.
Yeah.
For me.
I'm leaning on Scorn, honestly, just for like, that game has been hyped up so much, and then it's the Xbox exclusive, you know?
Yeah, let's do it. Scoring.
Okay. We have 3 more categories. This one is PC Game of the Year. Hard Space Shipbreaker. Warhammer 40K Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Such a long name. Return to Monkey Island. Neon White. Total War Warhammer 3. And Teardown. I have a reason that both the games that I like on this list maybe shouldn't win, but that's very subjective, and it's that their loading times are really long, even on my SSD.
Yeah.
I also don't think people are talking about Chaos Gate Demon Hunters anymore. Even though it's a great game, people just aren't talking about it.
Yeah. Well, the Total War 3, the Warhammer, that's actually, I don't know if that has a big community, but the people that love it.
Yeah, they really do. And I think the loading times have gotten better since launch. It's added a bunch of cool new features and new DLC and stuff. I'm willing to go for that, even though I also could go for Hard Space Shipbreaker. I haven't played it, but I know people talk about that game all the time.
I think I want to win for the Total War team.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, yeah.
Next up is Best Game Trailer. Now we've watched a lot of trailers already this year together. Goat Simulator 3 announcement trailer. The Callisto Protocol, The Truth of Black Iron trailer. This is the one that is like Dead Space, but not Dead Space. Being made by the old Dead Space devs. Skate, Still Working on It trailer. Time Flies announcement trailer. Bloody Hell Hotel reveal trailer. And Alan Wake 2 reveal trailer. There's so many other trailers I probably would have put on this list instead of some of these.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
My gut says the Alan Wake one, because I remember at the time we were both really hype about it, but I can't tell you for the life of me what that trailer is.
I remember they did get, I mean, it was, but yeah, I would have to get, as far as the trailer goes, I'd have to give it to Alan Wake. I mean, they had the budget, they got the studio behind it. It looked good.
Yeah.
It felt right. So,
it did.
Yeah.
Last 2 categories. Most Wanted Game. Get ready, because this list is kind of long. Okay. We have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Ooh.
Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Dead Space, the remake. Assassin's Creed Mirage. Honkai Star Rail. I know everybody's excited for that new Honkai game, right? Mass Effect, the remake. Redfall. Kerbal Space Program 2. Exo Primal. Street Fighter 6. Forspoken. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Final Fantasy 16. Hogwarts Legacy. Hollow Knight Silksong. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Dead Island 2. Warhammer 40K Darktide. And Starfield.
There's some good stuff on that list. And there is some stuff I'm waiting for, but for the game, the most wanted game everybody's waiting for, I think it's Zelda.
Yeah, I agree. I'm waiting for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but the rest of the world has been waiting for Breath of the Wild 2 for a very long time.
Look, there's a whole community that's gnashing at the bit for Street Fighter 6.
Right.
But overall, I think it's going to be the Zelda one as far as what most people be waiting on.
Oh, we get to pick 3 options for this one. Okay. I was like, why didn't it move to the next one? All right, so I picked Zelda for 1. What are the other 2 options? What are we picking?
I don't know. I think Street Fighter 6 will probably be a safe bet.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And then maybe we pick Rebirth?
Yeah.
Or Hollow Knight Silksong is also a great choice.
Yeah, but the Final Fantasy, the Rebirth, the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, that's going to be, I think that's going to be bigger. More people will wait on that than the 16.
I think so too, because it's the second part of the remake series.
Yeah, I know. There's some people excited for 16.
Yeah.
but I think there'll be more for Final Fantasy 7. I don't know. Either the Rebirth or the Silk Song.
Yeah. Oh, that was the last category. Okay. When it said 17 of 18, I thought it meant there would be an 18 one, but okay. So our answers have been submitted, and that goes into the full voting. We'll come back and talk about them when it's done. But next up, that was a fun little thing. I enjoyed that. Hope y'all did too.
Yes.
Next up, we get into some of the more annoying news in some ways. Modern Warfare 2 will require phone numbers. Play.
No. That's not gonna work.
So
go ahead.
What they want here is a 2-factor authentication system called the SMS Project, where you have to submit your phone number to be able to play online. Because if you get banned, you can't just make a new account and play on the same Xbox. They can ban the account completely by using the phone number. People's way around that was prepaid phones, right? Then you can't, ban me if you want. It's fine. Well, they're now saying you can't use prepaid phones because they don't want people to do that.
Yeah.
Which means if you have a prepaid phone, you can buy a $70 game and not be able to play it online.
It's bad marketing.
Yep.
And it's a bad idea. Unfortunately, look, us as players, we have been clicking those EULA agreements, terms of service, for years. And, you don't own the software.
That's right. Unfortunately.
You own the running. I don't know. This is not. I don't trust. I mean, who? You gonna trust their servers to not get hacked?
No. How many times have they been hacked already?
No. This isn't. That's gonna work. I think this is gonna cost them.
Yeah. It's a really dumb decision, and as was said with the other game that tried to do this, it punishes you for being poor.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. A lot of stuff does. It's cheaper to be rich than it is poor, and it does. It does. If you got a prepaid plan, and you might say, well, if you're poor, don't buy the game. Yeah, well, you might get it as a gift.
That's right. You might get it as a gift. And then you just can't play it.
Yeah.
That's not a good decision. They shouldn't be doing it.
No.
Now, this next one I have kept hidden from you.
Yes, I have. Our next one is redacted.
Yes. The redacted is actually the Gunpla Builders World Championship. We'll call it the Kerfuffle. Say they kerfuffled.
Okay.
So, the World Championship for Gunpla Builders World Cup, right? This year was a really interesting model of a Gundam with a Skygrasper above it from Gundam Seed. And I'm going to take the image and I'm going to drag it over here where everybody can see it. Because this is the one that won.
I can't see it.
It's on stream now.
So they can see it. Everybody can see it, right?
They can see it. They can see it.
Okay.
And I will send it to you real quick in Discord.
Okay, good deal. I got it pulled up.
This is the one that won. The problem is, it is very small. I'm sorry. I'll make it bigger. I'll put it over my face while I talk. The problem is, not only did it win, it is stolen from the 2013 winner, which looks like this.
All right.
I will copy this to you and send it to you. So, when I say it's stolen, I mean it's exactly stolen. It's plagiarized.
No. That one's got red on it. I can see more red and blue.
Yeah, that one's colored better than the one that won.
Oh, man.
So, people said, well, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe they got inspired by it without realizing it had been before the World Championship before, for the Cup. The artist response on Facebook when called out for the plagiarism was a quote from Steve Jobs that says, "Good artist copy, great artist steal." And that's how they've responded to everybody that's called them out on it so far.
Yeah. Wow. What a misinterpretation.
Now, I'm not going to blame, I'm not going to blame the GBWC judges too much. Because it's possible it's a whole different set of judges and they never saw that original strike,
Well, that was 9 years ago, too.
Yeah. However, you saw that image, right? How grayed out it was and everything. It's now been revealed that nobody on their team actually modeled that and put it together for the deal. They paid to have somebody else do it and then presented it as if they had worked on it. And here are some of the other things that were presented that could have been brought instead. Or they could have won instead. Let me drag these images over here.
All right.
So we have a beautiful looking diorama here of a Sinanju with turn A wings. We have, I just remembered you can't see these. I'll copy them to you as well.
Yeah, I'm looking over these first two. I mean,
and we have a really cool design right here that somebody made of a mobile haro.
Yes. For what I'm looking at right now, it's very, very nice.
Yeah, instead of a mobile suit, they made a mobile haro, which I'm sending to you now.
All right, that's pretty good.
But there's one in here that just like blew me away, and it is this one right here, which I will zoom up to make bigger so everybody can see it, which is a Bawu from Double Zeta with the pilot in front of it, fully sculpted and painted on top of a wood block, cut and fashioned to fit, with the emblem of the pilot burned into it.
Oh man,
that is such good work.
Yeah.
And people that put in all that work to be able to do stuff like that lost to a copy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I know I'm guessing that around the bottom is resin on the tube with the Gundam going through the water. And they both look really good. But the original, man, you ever see the foot on the water, the ground, man,
yeah, it pops so much more.
Yeah. That's sad. That's ridiculous.
I want to show you one more just for the fun of it, because this is somebody that took the idea of the original strike from 2013. That inspiration is there, but they made their own thing with that inspiration. Is this one right here? About to send it to you.
Okay.
And it just really hammers home the fact that, people did some good stuff and then just got shafted.
Oh man. That does look good.
Yeah, because it's got the same idea behind it, right? Gundam moving forward with support unit behind it. But
yes,
they made their own thing out of it,
Yeah. Oh man, that purple one's on a cut wooden base too.
Yeah, it sure is. And there's so many more. I don't mean to just highlight a couple and forget the others. There are 50 submissions on here, on this page that had all the different submissions. They're all great. I think people made such cool stuff. One of them even has a animated billboard playing an episode of First Gundam in it. So much work was done to make great mobile suits for these. And hey, the copy won.
Yeah.
So they're attempting to figure out exactly how that happened, that somebody was able to just make a copy and walk away with it, And it's probably going to lead to stricter judging in the future. But
yeah. Well, I mean, it should. Hopefully they'll rearrange the awards as needed so the right people get them.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Just wanted to give a quick shout out to that because I feel like it's not a topic that people are really going to be discussing all that much.
Right.
But a topic that everybody's discussing is TwitchCon.
Yeah.
So TwitchCon happened.
That's how we're spelling disaster now.
Yeah. And everybody knows about the big story, right? You want to tackle that one?
Yeah, I can't. Oh my God, what was her name?
Adriana Chechik.
Okay, yes, she
had
had
ad time. Fun stuff.
Oh, we got an ad.
I have a pick of the winners for the judges to review. That's of all the ones that have won in the past to be able to review and see, hey, what did we give awards for before? That would have been a great way to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. That was that story's kind of better. I don't. And what's sad is the one that won. Hey, you won. You copied somebody, and it looks great. You did a great job. Just a little more imagination.
Yeah, you could have had something really cool.
Like you said, it's use that for inspiration.
Yeah,
it's there. They can move forward with it.
Mm-hmm.
But the so the Twitch streamer was at TwitchCon.
Yep.
And they had foam pits. Apparently the foam pits weren't for playing in, they were just for show.
Yeah.
Because it had maybe 6 inches of foam and then a concrete floor.
Yeah.
Now this girl jumped, landed on her backside, and the last report I got from that was that she had broke her back in 2 places.
Yep, 2 places.
And is getting a metal rod put in?
Mm-hmm.
Through that. Now, she does have history. A little bit. This is, if I'm correct, this is not the first time she had her back blown out on stream. But she got seriously injured.
Yes.
And this, what I'm talking about, Tracy's going to talk about a few more things. What I'm talking about, this is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
That's
the big story.
Yeah. This is the big story come out of that. So you may be thinking, well, TwitchCon might not have been that bad. They did have this one experience and this one girl. And I would say go look at the pit.
Yeah.
And watch her jump.
Yeah.
Because I would have jumped to the pit too.
I have an image of the pit because 30 minutes before she jumped into the pit, Twitch streamer Locke Van S jumped into the pit and dislocated her ankle. 30 minutes before Adriana Chechik jumped.
Yeah.
So somebody could have gone, hey, this is not safe. And they just didn't.
Yeah. Well, that thing needs to be like a foam pit needs to be like 4 foot deep.
Yep.
Right? With big pieces of foam in it to work.
Yep.
It's gonna have a lot of foam in it and not just like 6 inches, maybe a foot.
Yep. So
it's like water. If you jump into a foot of water on your tailbone,
it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So those are the big stories, right? But TwitchCon was a disaster in many ways. So let's hit on some of the big ones, still in the big category, and then we'll get down to the little ones. Multiple female streamers have spoken up about Twitch staff that attempted to protect them from crowds because there was no real organization for the crowds and gotten groped for their protection. Known pedophiles were allowed at TwitchCon and allowed to just wander around. TwitchCon had a rule that said that parents could not be separated from their children and then attempt to send children to the back of lines without their parents. Told the parents, you just stay where you are. We'll have the kids go back. This is a line 400 people long. What do you mean send my kids to the back of this line without me? And again, I'm just tackling the big stuff right now. there was almost no security for people that were Twitch presenters and content creators. The Dream group, Dream and all his friends that stream a bunch of Minecraft and stuff, do the Dream SMP, had panels there, and people were able to get to the tables where they were streaming and steal their waters.
Oh my gosh.
To be able to drink their water after them. Some people were able to follow them to their hotels and bang on their hotel room doors because there was no security stopping people from going to the hotel that Twitch had rented out for all the content creators to stay at. Then there's the fact that Twitch decided that, hey, you know, we're going to be good and inclusive and we're going to have lines for people that are physically disabled. But you have to first go get your ticket to say that you're physically disabled. And there are multiple videos of Twitch staff that were there working the event saying, hey, if you don't want to wait in that line, you can just go get a ticket saying you're disabled so that you can get into this line instead. And then multiple people with pets that they had to have, I say pets as in that's the term that the Twitch staff were calling them, rescue dogs, relief dogs, seeing eye dogs, were told they can't bring their animals in there. A man that had a nebulizer was told he could not bring his nebulizer with him to that hot convention because the staff had one on hand and he would have to use theirs. And then when he went to try and use their nebulizer, was told it would be a $200 fee. People that were diabetic and tried to bring insulin in were told they couldn't bring any liquids in. So they just couldn't come into the convention, I guess. The disabled lines were torn down when the crowds began to get unruly so that they would have more space for the line. The Dream SMP panel had close to 1,600 people waiting in the line with a room that only had 400 people capacity.
Wow. Oh, man.
This is just the big stuff. I haven't got to the little stuff yet of multiple Twitch streamers were harassed by people on the event grounds that, you know, showed up to heckle them as they do. And as always, that seems to, not always, but most of the time, seems to escalate. And their security staff walked the other way instead of trying to be there for them because they weren't getting paid to help.
There was a couple interactions with Hassan Parker that were funny.
Yeah, there were a couple with Hassan that were very funny.
But it wasn't right.
No, it wasn't right. And the fact that security just walked away from him, that's your job, is to stop that, man. There were far too many situations where someone could have been killed because security was not acting. If instead of, hey, I want to get up and bump George Not Found in the butt to make it like I'm trying to have sex with him, if that had been a knife instead of what it was, he would be dead. Right. Yeah. Well, that's very true. The guy that got a hand around one of the female streamers, Minx's leg because he was trying to grope her, like, that could have been really bad. The fact that people were able to get up on top of them like that is not okay.
It could have been really bad and also could have been avoided.
Yeah, 100%. And, like, there's a lot of really tiny things. Like, hey, this end of the line is where it starts, but towards the time to start the event, they decided, actually, that end of the line's getting in first. For no reason, some fights going, hey, if you want to get into this panel, actually, the line's supposed to be 2 floors up. So good luck getting up there in time. And people trampling each other trying to get up there. My personal favorite is, hey, we didn't actually make a spot for you to be able to do your meet and greet for fans. So we just need you to do it right here in the middle of the hallway. Oh, yeah, no, we know that this hallway is actually like the line for that panel over there, but we just don't have space. So you're just going to do it right here in the middle of this hallway with a bunch of people that aren't here for you that now have to get moved out of the way so that your people can come in here. Just like,
Oy.
It's bad. There was so much of, like, Twitch decided it was going to try and be inclusive and give everybody pronouns on their official stuff, and then misgendered a bunch of people because they didn't ask what the pronouns were. They just assumed. And then when people pointed that out in the chat, they got banned. It's just like, what is this nonsense? How are you doing this? A couple streamers attempted to leave because they said, hey, if we can't do our thing here, Saikuno's one of them, said, hey, if I can't do my thing here, I'll just go outside to the park and do it out there. Like, at least out there, I'm not anybody's way. My people won't all be pressed in on top of each other. I'll just go out in the parking lot and do it. And because of that, Twitch informed everybody he was kicked out.
You know what bothers me the most about this? Twitch, Logan Paul is better at putting on convention than you are.
Yep. It's a problem.
You can, and fairly, there's all kinds of bad stuff I can say about Logan Paul. When it comes to this, right here, you should have had him do it.
I have one more big thing for you, which is maybe it's not the most egregious, but it's the most how did nobody pay attention to this, which is that Twitch had an after party in the convention and didn't have anybody watching the punch. So the punch got drugged. Because of course it did.
Yeah. Oy.
So multiple people reported that, you know, hey, they had some of the punch and they weren't feeling that good afterwards. And thankfully left instead of getting attacked by somebody. But there were multiple people that had no idea what was going on, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
It just, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. How do you do this?
Ugh. You don't pay attention.
Yeah.
You don't think things through. That's how you do that. Oi.
So, you know, that's where we're at on TwitchCon.
All right.
I do have some good news to round us out for news, though.
Yes.
SD Gundam Battle Alliance has had a big patch.
Yep.
And I want to give you some of the highlights of the patch notes here. So, obviously, the newest DLC has just come out. This will be free additional missions of EX missions as well. And then, of course, the paid DLC. This is the biggest patch in the game's life, for sure. With these missions, they've also adjusted basically everything, I guess. Your special attacks now will actually like turn you towards the enemy unit during the cutscene instead of you having to manually try and line it up.
Okay.
Which is really nice. They fixed a couple small bugs, but like stepping distance and guiding performance after your special have been adjusted. So now you'll actually have a better chance of hitting them if you got the distance a little bit off. All-rounders were the worst units in the game. We talked about that a lot. That's a thing that is well documented on this channel, I think. They have now added double the special recast gauge recovery speed effect to your all-rounder roll action, which means you get your special faster if you use an all-rounder.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good benefit to being an all-rounder now.
Yeah.
And then all-rounders also have specials with higher power than other rolls now. So their specials also do more damage now. To me, that balances all-rounders out perfectly. There you go.
It sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a heavy buff for that. They also buffed all-rounders stagger effects, so they can stagger more often now. Which now means, like, hey, you have a reason to use Infighter, you have a reason to use all-rounder, you have a reason to use Sharpshooter.
Yeah.
You can now use roll actions as much as you want, as long as you have the gauge for them. So, like, Sharpshooter's roll action lets them reload all their ammunition. very good, but you had a cooldown before you could use it again. Now you can just fire everything and use it again, and fire everything and use it again until your meter's gone. Give me that. That's my choice if I want to do that. So thank you for giving me the option. Also, all-rounders can now bring 5 repair kits instead of 4 or 3, depending on the unit. Infighters got a little bit of a buff. So now they will be able to get in on the enemy a little bit better. Their boost consumption is now times 0.7 as compared to it used to be 0.9. And now their damage suffered has been reduced to 0.8. They take a little bit less damage and can boost a little bit more efficiently. Some interesting stuff here, too, when it comes to the balance adjustments of the game. They completely redid the level difference damage modification so that you'll now take less damage if your level distance is different.
Okay.
Yeah, Infighter repair kits has changed to 4 as well. So, definitely interesting. Then they dropped the HP of mobile armors by a significant amount. And made it easier to down mobile armors. And made it where now the down is longer, depending on what parts you take out with mobile armors. And made it easier to get through the barriers on mobile armors. So now mobile armors are a lot better to fight. Which, if you remember in my review, was one of my biggest complaints about the game, is that fighting mobile suits is great, fighting mobile armors is a pain.
Yeah.
There you go. They're trying to make it better.
Apparently you weren't the only one that thought that, sir.
Right. There's a bunch of individual things of like each of the mobile armors has different nerfs to them. Like the Hashmal's pounce attack has been reduced for the duration of the attack effects. The Psycho Gundam, the effect that occurs after it drop kicks you has been eliminated. So you're no longer like downed after you get drop kicked. That's nice. Enemy ace units have all been adjusted as well. If they had grab attacks, now their grabs will be a little bit easier to avoid. Specifically, they're giving you back your iframes you didn't have for the grab attacks. Because the grab attacks had hyper armor. They're just giving you back the iframes. Makes it easier to dodge the grab attack. It's still on you to get out of the way, but now you can actually get out of the way. Enemy battleships HP has been dropped down. They have given a flat 3 times increase to capital acquisition on easy and normal, and a 1.5 times increase on hard. So you're just going to get way more capital now.
Yeah.
For doing the stuff you're doing, which is great.
Well, I remember you not long ago. You, Will, and you were talking about that, and Will kind of talked to you about it. You know, you got to get to a point. You got to play it on hard.
Yeah.
And then you start getting credits.
Right.
To do stuff. So that sounded like a problem for us. Sounds like they addressed it.
Yeah. They also made it where if you open a container, you get 5 times more capital. If you open a container that you get from a special condition, you get 10 times more capital. And then all the containers that come in the EX missions, you get 5 times more, just flat.
Okay.
So that's a great change. If you sell your blueprints, you will now get a 5 times increase on those. Uncapping materials as well. The sales have been adjusted, where you get a lot more for those. Lock-on for enemy units has been adjusted, so you don't just get shot down by a bunch of enemies hitting you all the time. Just a bunch of good updates in almost every way.
Yeah.
A real quick thing is that, like, hey, your pilot level display was not reflected right when going to the multiplayer lobby. It's fixed now. It feels really nice to see them go, hey, yeah, there's like the Barbados. One of its abilities was doing beam damage for some reason, and it's supposed to be doing melee damage. We fixed that. We didn't have to fix it, but we fixed it anyway. Yeah, difficulty matters now, for sure. For sure. Just a lot of cool stuff here. I'm trying to see if there's any big stuff that I missed here.
Anything? Anything? Anything?
I think that's mainly it. It's just a lot of like good quality of life stuff the game needed that I think makes the game way better than it was before because of it.
So, because I've got access to 2 people here that play and love that game, and it sounds like you are like, yes, this is a needed and very good patch. And you're very excited about it. And I'm guessing, Will, you feel the same way, huh? This is a good patch. You like this patch. You've already been through it. So you had to do the grind and get to the hard, and they're
That's
going
right.
to change it up a bit. But let me know, Will, if you think that yes, this patch is definitely worth it. I mean, I see the and the best update. Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
I think, too, we're in a world with this game where as the DLC comes out, we just get more stuff to play with. And even for people like Will that have already got all the stuff that's already available unlocked, it will now be much easier to fully upgrade the new stuff that comes out. And for people like me that have the main game beaten, but haven't yet beaten everything on like the hardest possible difficulty with everything, it's now going to be way easier for me to play with the suits I want to play with as well. For a new player, it's going to be way easier for them to play with the suits they want to play with. So
yeah. Okay. Good deal.
I like it. I like it. That's all I have for the news, sir. So we will throw it over to your corner.
All right. All right. As you know, we'll start this off with a birthday, and we were talking about good soundtracks. A little bit about soundtracks and scores at the beginning of the podcast, right? There's a movie that I really enjoy. It's called Gross Point Blank.
Okay.
And Gross is spelled Grosse. Gross Point Blank. It's got an amazing soundtrack. But it's also got an actress in it that I adore. And her name is Joan Cusack.
Okay.
Okay. You may not know her. You may know her brother John Cusack.
Yeah.
You know her as well. But Joan Cusack, happy birthday.
For sure.
I know. I'm sure she's going to watch this at some time, at some point. So I'll tell her definitely happy birthday.
Essential.
All right. I got a little bit different story today.
Okay.
Yeah. So when talking about the animal uprisings and how we need to be careful and watch and keep eyes on that, but there's some animals we need to help and get them back. Right?
Okay.
They're endangered animals, ones that are on the verge of extinction. And one of those is the condor.
Okay.
Now, in the mountains above Fillmore, 5-month-old condor is the only wild chick that survived in California's southern flock this season. Only one. A nest camera caught its first moments after hatching and captured a few months of the young condor exploring the cliffsides. Exploring its cliffside and giving the public a front row seat into the critically endangered species. They set up these cameras and stuff to get people to watch them because they wanted people to feel connected to them. They felt like people would be more inclined to help.
Right. Just real quick, you're right, Will. I'm sorry. I forgot to give you a shout out. Will is the one who sent me those patch notes. Thank you.
Okay. Very good. Right on, man. Right on. Now, condors have a very slow reproductive rate, and they are critically endangered. There's different levels of danger. They're critically endangered. In 1982, which might be Condor's man fault. I don't know. If you're old enough to get that, you're old. But in 1982, there was only 22 condors in the wild.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah, just 22. It was at that point in 1982. Actually, excuse me. There was 22 condors in the wild. They were virtually extinct.
Okay.
Those were through captive breeding programs. They started to release condors back in the wild. By the end of 2021, there was 334 condors.
Wow.
That lived in the wild. And that's actually up from 329 a year earlier.
Okay.
It usually goes up a little bit better, but they've had a very bad, like I said, only one chick survived their breeding system. And usually it's more than that. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service reported 42 condor deaths in 2020. And that may not sound like a lot, but when your numbers are that small,
yeah,
in a group. and 34 of those 42 were, excuse me, in California.
Okay.
And that was almost triple. The year before, there was only a dozen deaths. So, it tripled in a year. They say the biggest threat to lead poisoning, and this is the part that kind of upset me, because the biggest threat to condors, lead poisoning, accounts for around half of all known causes of death of the species, as the birds feed on carcasses containing bullet fragments. That was also true in 2020, but the Dolan fire in Central California took a close second.
Yeah.
This ticks me off. I'm against sport hunting, but I'm not against hunting.
Right.
And there's not a hunter I know that statement wouldn't, like, somebody shot something and let it go off to die.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah. The like 10% of the Central California population, which is 10 adult condors and 2 chicks, died in the fire. So that took a big part. Not only killed the birds, but it took their nesting area for that. Right now, the condors are relying on captive bred birds being released into the wild.
Yeah.
In Southern California, the first 2 of this year's releases happened last week. 4 more condors are going to be released over the next few weeks.
Okay.
So they're coming out towards the end of the year. They're going to release 4 more. Now they've got they're putting new cameras and stuff. They're hoping, because let me get back here. There's a place called Tom's Canyon in Fillmore, California, and here in the next few weeks, chick number 1160 is expected to fledge in the next few weeks.
Okay.
And they snuck up there and put up some new cameras because they're hoping that they got cross canyon cameras now. They want to see it. They want to see it learn and take flight and everything like that. They do have a website on here, and it's kind of funny because a condor is kind of it's just a big vulture, right?
Yeah.
And they're not cute animals.
Right.
They're not, they're not kittens. They're not pet and cuddly. But they found one thing they did when they're filming these condors is condors and vultures are really sweet to each other.
Yeah.
They found they saw on one of the cameras, they caught a male and female kind of fighting, pushing on each other to who was going to incubate the egg. And the female one sat on the egg, so the male went over to the side of the nest, and there was an eggshell over there, and he sat on that. But they're not cute and fuzzy creatures, and they're almost extinct. Their numbers have come up, but that's not a lot of numbers.
Not.
And they do have a website if you want to find out more about the chick and the birds and everything. It's all about birds, all one word, allaboutbirds.org/cams/California-Condor/ on that, and you can go see the cams and watch these birds grow. They got to make fun of a lot of the stories coming up, but I think this one feels important because it's endangered. It's critically endangered, but it's on a comeback.
I agree, and hopefully the condors can make it back.
Yeah,
it's a cool bird.
And if you're a hunter and you're worth your salt, you're going to track down the animal you hit if it runs.
That's right.
If for some reason you didn't get a clean shot, you can check it out. That part really aggravates me.
Yeah. You can't just do that. You can't just let them go off to die.
Infinite Trans Am.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably do that now. I don't see why not.
Hey, that phrase meant something completely different in the 70s. I'm just going to say that. 1970s.
Good luck, little baby condor.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you.
On that. I'm going to check on them. But that was my stories. I wanted to fill y'all in. There is some good people out in the world trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got any plugs?
No, but I'm gonna to all the viewers. I want to say thank you for watching. I want you to seriously. I believe with all my heart. It took thousands of years and millions of people to make you. There's never been anything like you, and there never will be again.
That's right.
And the fact that you'll watch or comment and come along means so much to me. I appreciate that faith. I got made a song came out Sunday, and I'll have another song coming out this Sunday. Also, there's a YouTuber I watch named Justin Hawkins. He's the lead singer of The Darkness.
Yeah.
And he's got a YouTube channel called Justin Hawkins Rides Again.
Oh.
Yes. He's got a YouTube channel on that. Now, I was watching his channel the other day, and he was talking about how he liked to rival. So I've decided to become his rival. So he is
nice.
My musical rival, Justin Hawkins of The Darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on something I can call him out on, but
heck yeah.
He's pretty much better at everything. So I want to keep working on it, though. So now you know. It's been announced. Justin Hawkins is my musical rival.
Heck yeah.
What you got, Trey?
Well, I'm going to plug the Magnus Archives. I brought that up earlier. It's a really cool show. If you are someone who suffers from different fears and has a hard time listening to your fears, note that every episode is tagged with the name of the episode. It's almost always about whatever would be frightening to you. But just keep that in mind, that if you're somebody that can't listen to something that your fear is in, it could be very difficult for you. But otherwise, the writing is really, really good. I like it a lot. Don't forget, coming up this week, we have the Thursday stream where we're going to be trying to finish off Mordenkainen's. We covered most of the T's last time. I'm pulling Bestiary right now. Double check. I say most. We covered all the T's because we were in the V's.
I thought so. Okay, good.
We're in the W's.
Yes.
Thursday.
Yeah. So it should be. I think we'll be wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Wrapping up Mordenkainen's. That's good. That's good.
Fun. And then Friday, we're going to work on some more Thousand Suns.
Got some painting to do.
Can't really see them too well because it's green. But, I'll be working on those. Probably going to start by trying to finish up on this guy and make him look a little better. I got some stuff I want to do there. But we'll work on that. So we'll have a good time there. Then we'll be back next Monday with MMO Mondays as I shoot lightning at things while I should be healing. And then go ahead.
Well, I'm going to say, HR. Well, he may not be able to much longer. Anyway, also coming in a couple of weeks, we're going to try to get a Wednesday night show going. I'm going to be running it. We will let you know. I will get an assignment game to play from Trey. And we'll be starting that up on Wednesday night. So here pretty soon, it will be Monday through Friday, 8-7 Central.
Yep.
So we get that going. It'll be Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays for sure.
That's right.
On Twitch and YouTube, 8-7 Central.
Also, just a real quick thing as a reminder, if you are trying to find Rundgren's channel to be able to listen to his music and you're on Twitch, you can use !Rundgren, which I'll put in the chat right now, and it will give you a link. If you're on YouTube, in the description of every video that goes up on this channel that is not live, because I can't automatically add it to live videos, we have all our links, and Rundgren's link is there. So if you are looking to find that stuff, you can find it there.
Right on.
Until next time, then, I've been Trey.
I've been Rundgren.
We've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Life as